Hey chat, how are we doing today? You'll just have to give me a singular moment while I just send off a message. Just gotta ask Charles a question. And we do have we're gonna be doing more of the Windows pipes things, but provided I have enough time, I might go back to the Spyro stuff and just like do a little bit more editing on the final boss scene. But other than that, like it's almost done. There you go. Alright. Just quickly turn this on. There we go. Alright, so we did get this set of pipes working last time. Now, I do want to, while I'm here, while I've just got only this set of pipes available, I want to try adding in the ball joints for the pipes. I don't have this up at the moment. 3D pipes windows. There we go. So like these ball joints. Now the thing that I'm having issue with is like these ball joints seem to be entirely random. Like some of them have the joints and some of them don't. And I don't know what the algorithm is for creating them. Like, if it was just, like, changing elevation, then yeah, sure, but that one's clearly changing elevation. If it was just corners, yeah, sure, but then at the same time, there's ones up here that don't have them. So I think it's just randomly generated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, say, this one, because I want to try and get them roughly around the middle. And actually, I should probably be using them to cover up whichever ones look really weird. So, like, this one here is fine. But, like, that one there is fine. This one here probably needs a joint. So I think the best usage of this is to Shift S, cursor selected, and okay, it's like not quite the correct position. Like, I know logically it is correct. Let's try just adding in microsphere. And yeah, then just try shrinking this down until it's a roughly reasonable size. I think this is good. So if I did that, now if I were to put this through the pipe, strangely it does seem to deform correctly, so what I'm concerned about most is the fact that the playback for this is so fast. And like, it's supposed to end at 250, but like, it goes on far longer than that. Is there a way to slow down the speed at which this goes? Where's my track 2? I have offset, fixed position, curves influence. Slow down movement. Object. Follow path constraint. Alright, so how to slow down an object following an anime path. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. 5. You click the Bezier curve, which is actually in this path here. And go down to the data tab. There's no data tab though. Am I blind? So this is the... Oh, this is like the old Blender format. Okay, that's not great. Go to the data tab and scroll down to see path animation. Wait, is there something in here that I can use? Surely not. Oh, there is two, actually. Oh, that makes things so much easier. Alright, so now it's just a matter of scaling this down. Except there's no keyframes, that's the issue. There's no keyframes, I can't exactly scale this down, I don't think. Graph editor... Yeah, but that implies that there's keyframes, which there isn't. Maybe I can keyframe... Okay, so that's the disable and viewport. We want the constraints, though. So, evaluation time. Can I keyframe this? Oh, wait, here we go. Path animation. Found it, chat. So, I need to... say 250 here. So, if I... put this back down... Okay, yeah, it's going a lot slower now. Let's set that back to timeline. Now, interestingly, for whatever reason, it seems to... Oh, I know why, actually. It's because of the visibility keyframe. So I need to change the position of that. So if I move that along until it's fully in here. So move that frame 11. Oh. So it disappears at frame 11. And it should come back near the end of the animation. So this is 250 here. So if I grab this and move it along, I want it to show up at frame 243, I think. Oh wait, that is actually... Okay, maybe it needs to be a bit sooner then. So at 241. Like one frame later. So now this should work as intended. It travels through the pipes as intended. Cool. So what I can do here, interestingly, is I can actually make this be a looping animation using the pipes in different positions and having the ball start in different positions. So if I can actually just make a straight duplicate of this thing. So select hierarchy and then shift D to duplicate this. Alt G, and then this one needs to have no constraint at the moment. Bring this back up, and then I want the shading to be different. So make this. What color should I make this pipe? We're doing orange. Maybe something along this line, having a cyan alongside would probably be good. I think cyan is a fitting color here. So cyan pipe. This one, and I do still need to fix up the joints on that pipe. Actually, I can probably just color picking is the safest option here. Oh wow, I actually got that basically immediately. Never mind then. Is there a way that I can set this up to be... Oh, I can actually. What did I have this set to? I think I had this set to like 12 maybe? Who knows? So Z up doesn't really do anything. And smooth doesn't really do much either. Okay, good to know. So there's not really a good way for me to fix the bends on these pipes, it doesn't seem. It does have the path animation though, that's helpful. Can I... Okay, this might be cheating depending. Can I use circles for this? Or does it have to be... Okay, it actually has to be... Oh wait, there we go. Apparently, I can only use other paths for this. That's strange. Why would... Yeah, I think my computer's getting salty about me doing that, so I'm just not going to do that. I think I have it 8. Start and end mapping, path animation. Active splines, shape keys, okay. I might make one more set of pipes. So Shift D. And set that off to the side for now while I fix this. So orange pipe. Cyan pipe. I'll have a third color obviously. So I'll pick that. And obviously I can, when I go to render, I can have the background be blacked out, then just use a different type of lighting. Like I can use a sunlight or something like that would probably be... In fact, I can actually just do that now, right? The only issue is that there's no shadows affecting further down. So, like, it's all well and good to say that I could get a pretty clean pipe render here, but I think I'm going to have to do a little bit of work here. And set this to like 2, because the idea is to try and get some bounce lighting on this. And I think sun would be the easiest way to go about it. I'm not saying it's the best way, I'm just saying it'd be easiest overall. And then, where's the other sun? Half that and say like 5. It looks rather strange, doesn't it? It looks pretty, I wouldn't want to say monolithic, but something along those lines. Okay, there we go. So we got the sun going on there. Is there a way? Oh, right, angles. So yeah, 180 degrees. Yeah, that basically gives me the exact lighting setup I was looking for. Get rid of that. We don't need that one as well. So yeah, that would be what the Microsoft pipes look like. And now if I went ahead and animated this, it does look a bit strange for a start off, but at the same time, like once everything's all rendered and that, like it would look just fine. So, now for the slot here. Actually, I should probably finish putting the spheres here, right? So, I said whichever ones had strange elbowing, like this one here. So, Shift S, cursor selected, L, Shift D. Oh. Link, Shift D, Shift S, and selection to cursor. Sorry? Selection to cursor? It's not moving? Shift S. Okay, I guess this thing wants to be weird then, huh? That is fine. I have got other ways to go about doing this. So, maybe selecting these ones specifically. In fact, I may even maybe select this vertex and the one on the other side. Cool, and then Shift S, cursor selected, icosphere, and scale that down. How much do I scale this by? So it's 0.4. Alright, cool. So now, next one. Yeah, all these elbows here are pretty rough. If I looked at them normally, like, that one there probably needs to be messed about with. Like the cyan pipe for now. And I'm thinking maybe the slot here. Shift S, selected, sphere, scale that down to 0.4. The problem is it feels pretty large for the pipes themselves. So let's try scaling it down to 0.3 maybe. Oh, that might be good. Now, up here as well. Yes, get selected. Make sure I don't accidentally scale down things I don't need to. And yeah, shading these smooth, it does seem to be relatively similar to the effect I was going for. And these ones here. Three. Nice. And then this one here, I think the elbow is hidden enough where it doesn't matter in the traditional sense. That one there. I think I might add one just for like the sake of the way that the thing looks. I think I want to add one to the very back here. There we go. And I think maybe one here. So cursor to selected. This is like really weirdly bent actually. I need this to be more of a 45 degree if I want to get away with this. Okay, so I think... Dang it, man. If I'm gonna have that go at a 45-degree angle, basically, I'm gonna need to figure out how to get these back ones to work properly. In fact, I actually need a camera position for this too. Maybe around about here? Probably around about there should be fine. Just that. Alright, here's... Sorry, I was still somewhat in correspondence with Charles at the moment. It's a little bit unprofessional of me. Alright. Oh, right, I'm in edit mode. Sure. So, go to there. Yeah, these pipe joints are not quite the way that I expect them to be. I need to have them, like, really... Unless I scale these ones out. So, focusing on that, how would I go about 45-degree angles in this case? Okay, and then get this working properly. Honestly, doing this manually is probably the worst way to do it. X. Y, and try and get it to be relatively similar. Okay, so this should be as clean as I can get it. Now I need to figure out how to get this to work properly. So, bridge edge loops. Okay, this should be cleaner now, right? This is basically a 45-degree angle. Nope. Q, not Control Q. Control Q quits the entire software, and that's not exactly what I'm looking to do at the moment. So is this 45 now? I think it is. Okay, so that's a 0 profile vector. I like... I don't think this makes a difference here. Okay, so merge does that. That's not helpful to me. I'm gonna call and say that that's probably about right. So Shift S, cursor selected. And I said 0.3 for this, right? Okay, yeah, that looks a lot nicer now. That connects in properly. Nice. So yeah, I guess in the process of doing all of these, I must have wonked the pipes at some point. So that's fun. Try and do as little of that as possible. So make sure I scale all these appropriately. I need to do these on the individual. And G. Hopefully these will do it all individually. Okay. No, they don't. Unfortunate. In fact, doing them individually is the way this thing breaks. Is this scale wrong? Oh, you've got to be joking me. Really? Bruh. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, now this side. And this one is still a bit weird. And this one as well. Yes. Make sure this is scaled down correctly. In fact, a lot of these seem to be rather jank. Oh, this is so frustrating, actually. Why is it like this? You choose to... You can choose to be any way, and you choose to be a pest. I wonder if I might have to redo these. Because these pipes are not working out the way that I intended for them to. Actually, let's test it out on these ones before I nuke this entire lot here. So these are... like that. I can scale them down like that. It's not really helpful in this case, but it's good to know. Okay, so that's 8, that's 0.2 still. And... offset doesn't really help here. Nor does extrude, I don't believe, yeah. So, what about shapes? I know the resolution preview has a lot to do with it. So if I set this up and then scale this entire thing back down a bit. In fact, I think 0.1 might be better. If I set this up now, is this going to... I can hear my fans going, and I don't like that. If I were to go ahead and swing it now, like if I convert this to mesh, okay, it's not awful, it's not great. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't know why they put so much geometry there, but it's not awful. I just wish there was a better way to smooth out the way that goes. Okay, this is going to be a little bit more obnoxious than I initially gave it credit for. The only other way I could think of is maybe using actual cylinders. But I don't think that would work out the way that I'd hoped. Like, I can certainly give it a try, that's for sure. Like, if I grab the cylinder here, gave that, like, 24 maybe. Set that to 0.1. Or even 0.2 in this case would be better. Now, if I edit this... So, if I gave this a array... Also, just make sure I alt-G that. So, array fit curve to this one here. And then add the curve modifier. That is roll hair curve. That is not the curve I'm looking for. Deform axis probably Z. Okay, that made it disappear. That's not what I was intending for that to happen. And... just remove that for now, I think. So if I just set that to 0. Now, it's not relative offset, is it? It's like consistent offset. So that's fit curve. Maybe it's going in the wrong direction? Ah, there we go. Okay. Minus Z, minus Y. Okay, that vaguely works, I think, technically. It just isn't quite... Alright, let's try that. For some reason, this thing has an offset. And a really bad one at that. Like, why is it... Scale... So I guess none of these are really going to be what I'm aiming for. Which is unfortunate, because I thought this would work. Alright, let's just go back to this then. So, 0.1 for the offset. Not offset, rather, the depth. Yeah, I think maybe I made these pipes initially a bit too thick. Now... but if I don't make them thick enough, the problem becomes that the spheres can't fit through properly. So I will keep that at 0.2 actually. So the real issue I'm having is these corner bits. Like, at some point, I don't think it's going to be helpful to have it set that high. I'm going to have it set to 16 for now. Like, it's all well and good to say that this is a thing, but, kind of looks a bit weird, to be honest. Smooth does nothing here, I don't think. So I'm not going to bother with that. Okay, none of those really do anything. Taper. What does taper do? Doesn't adhere to any objects, so that's not helpful. Start and end mapping. Ah, the spline. Okay, interesting. So if I set this up to be that. Okay, so I had this at 16. And for whatever reason, the resolution on this is a bit strange. Okay, these don't really do much. I mean, it's funny how twisty it gets if you do that, but it's not helpful here. So if I just convert to mesh now and look at it. Yeah, I don't know why it's so obsessed with giving me these, like, extra things here. Okay, maybe this could help here. So, I can't really see what this is doing, unfortunately. I really want the corners to stay as the problem. So it doesn't show me either. That's annoying. Okay, that's helpful, actually. I guess the planer was the one that I needed for this. So, like, the idea is I wanted the subdivisions to be equally distributed across all these points. So, like, in this one here, there was more geometry in the shorter areas than there were in the longer lengths of pipe. But this one here, I want this to be different. Oh, I did not intend... What happened there? No wonder that's acting weird. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and deplaner again, but I'm going to... Oh, sorry, I'm going to planer, but I'm going to change the angle limit. Let's say 10 degrees. Okay, that doesn't help. Let's say, what happens if I set to 1 degree? That does help, it seems. So, removing all of these. Some of them still kind of exist. It's strange, really. So as long as I get rid of most of them, I should be fine. And this is frustrating. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to revert this. I know I had stuff on that pipe, but whatever. I guess if this is what Blender wants to do, it's what Blender wants to do. I will at the very least remove the extra subdiv samples. So, get rid of that. And hide that for the time being. Now, before I do anything else, I need to remember to go to here, set this to 250. Now for the sphere animation, I think I had this set to 11 and so I should probably need to push that slightly further, maybe to 12. And then I think the ending I had it to roughly around about 230, I want to say. Okay, so there we go. So now that should be working correctly. Now I've got to redo all these pipe corners. I don't know why it was acting so strange before. That's fine. So I think I used vertices to control the location of this. Oh. Shift S, get selected. And I also had these ones, right? So Shift S, get selected, microsphere. Guess it's selected. Oh, because that's still selected, bruh. I am the dumb. Okay, so I have another idea of how I can get this to work properly. So I'm gonna get this one here. I'm gonna just delete all of these. Now I'm gonna extrude them out until they hit a bit closer. Or at the very least just, oh yeah, I did extrude them actually. So the idea is to just do that, but then subdivide the pipes until they match up roughly with however many are here. So it'd be like one subdiv here and then like maybe 2 here. not 3. 3 looks a bit better here. And now I can link these together. Bridge edge loops. And then now I can probably around about here. So cursor selected. Icosphere. I need to make sure that I don't accidentally select the interior parts of the pipes. Alright, cool. And I probably want to... Actually, I'll leave that one alone. I don't think it's going to be as visible in the background here as the other one was. So I control 0, just that. Alright, there we go. So like this bend here isn't as obvious. This one could probably do with some work though. So I can link that up. Okay, so that feels alright. Is this one further? Oh, this one isn't as far back as it should be. That's a bit embarrassing. So, what is this doing? What the hell is it locked on? Okay, it's locked on that one. That is not helpful to me. The pipe is a bit bent here. Okay, slightly obnoxious, but again, not the end of the earth, just a little bit annoying. Not that one, just that. Like that. There. And bridge edge loops. I guess the amount of edge loops in this case doesn't matter because it's just going to be hidden by that thing anyway, so... Okay, now time to add a couple more to the end here, and we should be good to go. So, shift A. Oh, I need to... that. Make sure that I don't have that other one selected. Sorry, chat. And... although, to be fair, this could probably be My only concern is that it's going down too far. Like, it's actually actively slanting down, which is not quite what I want. Oh, profile factor, messing around with that's not a good idea. So maybe I need to move this one up a bit. And then if I bridge these. Okay, yeah, it's a lot less wonky. Oh, somehow that ended up in the wrong position? That's pretty easy to fix though. There we go. Okay, I think I've made a fairly convincing emulation of the pipe, so time to grab the other one. And do the same here. So I probably want to do a third one, as I said before. So third color here. This one needs a different color entirely. So I'm going to set this to be cyan. Is my mouse almost out of battery? Please don't tell me that it is. Because if it is, I'm going to be so pissed. Cyan pipes. Orange pipes. And then maybe like a green set perhaps, or maybe even white for the coloring of this one. Like something roughly to that effect. Alright, so if I convert this to... Actually, I need a duplicate of this. Like, I need two separate types of duplicates for these. I need ones for the actual pathing and then... All path orange. I need to shift D. All path cyan. And then I need a third one, but not right now. So, convert to mesh. Actually, come to think of it, these could, like these joints here as they are currently are probably even fine. Like some of them, like the ones that I don't want to be spherical on them, I would have to edit. But the way that some of them are now, like the pipe is still fairly straight on them, so I can get away with a lot here. So I think this one here. Oh man, I've burned through so many of these bot accounts that I'm starting to get characters in Chinese. At least I'm pretty sure that was Chinese. Actually, no, that's Japanese. Never mind. Apologies, that was the wrong set of characters I was thinking about. I've gone through so many bots. Like, bruh. Like, when do you think they'll learn to quit? I don't think they're gonna learn anytime soon is the unfortunate thing. So, icosphere, scale that down. I think. Because it seems to be a lot of the time these corner ones do this as well. So, oh, shit, yes, selected. There we go. icosphere. What? Hair? I thought I must not have gone through it properly. Okay. Alright. So that one's like that. I'm basically just going off of what feels correct for this specific project. Thinking this one down here. Shift S, case selected. So I'll keep those ones. And I'm actually gonna do these last, like these three here, I think. Or even just these ones here. So that one. Shift S, get selected. Was it supposed to be 0.3? Have I been doing this wrong the entire... I think I might have been doing this wrong the entire time, chat. Yes, get selected. Icosphere. Scale this down to 0.3 this time. Now, the unfortunate thing is that the pipes are still kind of balked if I set to 0.3, but 0.3 is more accurate to the way this works. Shift A, up. Okay, so I've got those ones there. This one here I wanted. I have to put these into better positions, I think. That's a bit better. Yeah, I think a lot of these are going to be out of position until I can get them working correctly. So that is almost. I wonder if I can get away with Alt-S'ing this to, yeah, make the pipe work a bit better. I need to move these down though. I need to move this out of the way. And scale that so it's more in line. Okay, that looks a little bit nicer. Now, I think I wanted one on this one here. This is another one of those ones I'm just going to have to always just scale it out a bit. So I go sphere. Oh. I keep forgetting to put the cursor in the correct position. So I need to move these ones specifically. Go, and these, oh okay, actually that entire thing need to be moved about. Because that is not helpful in this case. I'm gonna try this. Okay, that looks just fine, I think. Especially with the smoothing, you're not really going to notice that. So, Shift S, cursor selected. They must have still had something selected. Duplicate this across. Go. And hopefully, with both pipes... Yeah, I'm still going to need to work out those corners, but with both the pipes there and shaded, yeah, that kind of looks alright. So I need to shade this. Okay, it doesn't look awful. I mean, like, it looks awful, but it looks awful in the way that I intended it for it to. Which is the most important part of all this. Okay, so now I have to go ahead and fix all these. So delete those. Upwards, maybe? Actually, no, straightening it out would be better. Q, bridge edge loops. There we go, that looks a lot cleaner. So I think this front corner one probably is fine, like this one here. In fact, I might just bevel this instead of... I can't with the clamping problems, can I? Delete the faces on that, and delete probably these ones as well. Delete edges. Delete faces. And then bridge these together. So that's cleaned up now. This bottom one definitely needs some work. Can I bevel this and get to work properly at all? No, not really. Okay, so... faces... Make sure these are properly. Go, that one's been cleaned up. Now, what else is visible from here? So that one, the background is not visible. That one is. So it's mostly these two back here that I need to look at. So delete those. Delete those because I don't need those ones. And these ones as well. And that one up the top I think is okay. Maybe this one here could do with a little bit of a touch up actually. Those bridge edge loops. Cool. So that should be good. Now what I can do here is I can grab this one, Control L and copy modifier. So now this one should have the same modifier stack. Nice. So viewing it from this angle, yeah. And now I just have to figure out how to go about doing the pipes. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to extrude the slot down so it goes out of frame. Because I don't particularly feel like having the balls enter and exit the pipes like visibly in frame. I feel like it's weird. And now for the last one, I think I'm going to have it cut through some of these, but then just have it go off screen. So for this one, I want it to be, I think I said green for this, right? So green pipes. Or just green pipe, rather. Actually, I don't know why I'm using that one when I can literally just do that. Actually, I'll just copy and paste this throughout just to make sure that this is the correct. That, is that there? Make sure that's connected properly. And paste that there. Link that up and delete that. Alright, cool. So, grab the green coloration. So now we have, although I feel like this could stand to be just a smidge darker. There we go. Although I feel like maybe the orange one is pale in comparison. Okay, that's a bit too dark. Let's lighten that up a bit, yeah? There we go. Now this is pipes. Pipes. Cyan pipes. And this is going to be green pipes. Alright, cool. So, the fun thing about this is I can actually vary the speed of which the spheres move through the pipes, so this will be fun. So, using... Alright, going into layout mode for this one I think is good. So I'm going to have this here. I'm going to remove these and set the camera up to have the pass pouch not be visible back then. Yes. There we go, got that going. I don't think having that active is a good idea at the moment. Although that does remind me that I need to add in my light source. So 180 degrees as before. And I think I set to 5? Yeah, because like, I'm trying to get the coloring to be roughly about this. So the unfortunate thing is there is shading, so I need to figure out what the exact value for that is. I think it's around about 140. 140 degrees. It does give the shading, but it doesn't like see here it doesn't have the shading for that going on top of that, which is exactly what I was aiming for. And then maybe the coloring needs to be a bit darker. Yeah, kind of like that actually. So now I want to edit this one here. It's kind of funny when it is moved around this manner because it just looks so strange. And the other thing too is I can actually make duplicates of these in the background if I need to. So this here, I want this to actually move off screen. Oh. So have this go. Actually, I might want to pull this lot back here. Because I don't want to be, like, front and center. But I also don't want it to be overshadowed by the orange. So having this be a little bit more wiggly is probably in my best interest. In fact, I might even push this one to go through the cyan pipes, maybe? I don't need this one, actually. And then I want to subdiv this one here. Subdiv and... Okay, there we go. That should be good. And then this here, I can probably... Where did I put this? There we go. And just move this upwards. There we go. And then I actually probably want to remove or move these ones around. Maybe I want to move them so they're through this pipe as well. And then move these ones up so they're above this. So if I just remove this here so I can see what's going on. Because like I don't want the pipes to overlap too much. So that one there is a result of this here, I think. But like it like cuts off this joint here and I don't really exactly want to do that. So if I move... But if I move that up, it's gonna... Something else... I can move this by 0.5 though. That might be my best bet here. Because the entire point is just to make sure that whenever the spheres are moving through the pipes, they're not clipping through or crossing over other pipes. Which seems a rather weird thing to be pedantic about, but it would also make for a better animation and stuff. It's just not clipping into each other. So, do this. Like that for now. And then I've still got to make duplicates of all these. So maybe I can just, for now... didn't I have a... Oh, I deleted the previous save file that had that. So... I think I have all this selected now. So if I make sure I duplicate this. And then sphere 2, I want the constraint to be locked to ball path cyan instead. And now this one, I also want to make sure that ball path cyan has a pretty decent start off, so what's wrong here? Oh, the lattice is not on the correct one, I don't think. It's supposed to be here. And then sphere 2 is supposed to... Yeah, that's acting strange, the hell. So, wait. That's not meant to happen. Why do I have a lattice modifier on the sphere? Oh, I think that actually comes with the lattice, to be fair. I think that's my brain not functioning correctly. So, this... Yeah, where is this sphere? So, that one is supposed to be following that. Except, the path is not pathing. Is it going in the wrong direction? Is that what's going on? Okay, so that should be fine now. And now for this thing, the path is being strange. Why is it doing this? Also, I don't need this active at the moment. I'll remove these invisibility modifiers. In fact, I'm just going to move them straight to the end, because I'm still probably going to need these. But this is not working as intended. So, I don't need that one. So this should be locked onto lattice 03. Except why is the path acting so strange? Constraints. There should be no axis edit whatsoever. everything that it's doing. Now, why would it be doing that? Is it because this has depth to it? Shouldn't do. Oh, something's like gone majorly wrong here, I think. Oh wait, no, that's the sun. Never mind. So wait, if that's the case, and this starts off here, then there should be no reason why it's doing what it's doing. It's just leaving. Unless I didn't animate the path correctly. Could be the case. Let's give it a try, yeah? So... I need to animate the path again. Using... Okay, I delete that animation. Oh. Delete the animation. Clear the animation data. And animate the path here. It says it's already animated. It should not be animated. It's following... I think it's following this path here, where it really shouldn't be. So, if I go to the sphere... Oh, it was moved at some point? Okay, they'll probably explain why it wasn't working correctly. Follow path. To cyan. Animate the path. So now this should be working, yeah, correctly. Now, I want to know why it's being weird about this. Oh, wait, it's because there's no cuts here. I think that's the appropriate amount. And then this one here. Okay, so that should be working properly now. So I go into this mode. Alright, cool. So first of all, I need to hide that again. That has no reason to be visible whatsoever. And now for this one back here, I think the lattice modifier isn't exactly working as intended. I think... What is happening here? Is it too large, or is there just not enough geometry? Oh, actually, you know what it is? I haven't subbed this yet. So if I went ahead and... Sub... Modifier is disabled? What do you mean mod... Oh, it's because... okay, yeah, that'll do it. So Simplify is going to get turned off. Blender's going to get angry at me for a moment, and then I'm going to turn this back on. There we go. And then for this, subdivision surface, set that back up to the way it should be, and now that should be form-fitting a lot better. Oh. So now the real question is the animation data. And because this is actually going off screen, there is actually no reason for the sphere to be visible at any point. So, say it like around here, I make that invisible. So insert keyframe. And then at this point here, I can... Oh, I actually do still need to edit how long this takes. So, I believe it's under here, right? Yeah. So I'll set this to be 250 as well. In fact, I'm actually just going to offset this bit. I'm going to set this to be 200 frames. Or actually, if I really want to offset this, 150. I'm going to have to really take into consideration how I want to do this loop as well. So, at 151, duplicate this keyframe. So this should be invisible the entire time it's in the pipe. Or it should be. Now, this one here... Oh, is the hidden also active here? It doesn't really matter as much. Alright, I think we should be good here. I was hoping to get to the Spyro renders today, but it doesn't seem like I'm going to. Alright, so save that and end off the stream. I don't think I have anyone for Twitch side to raid tonight. If I go and have a look, see. Yeah, there's nobody there, unfortunately. So that's where I'll end off. Not too bad. I think from next week onwards, I am going to be doing the Sly Cooper scene that I've still got to finish. I think it's like week 4 of me doing it, but hopefully I should get relatively close to a reasonable render, I hope. Anyway, I shall see y'all in the next stream.